for the show ever that night because people were laughing their heads off. Unfortunately, it wasn't because I was trying to be a comedian. It was just I had 2 hours to kill. And they came down. The funny thing is, at the end of the show, I said, well, is it available on Amazon? Yeah, it just went up on Amazon. I said, well, how long has the book been out? Oh, it's been out for a year. How many copies have you sold? I haven't sold any yet. Duh. Gary, you blew it, that guest. Hey, what can I say?
Yeah, well, and people don't realize some of the guests we got to work hard to get a conversation going or get any answers out of them, and they should want to come forward with, especially if you're selling a book. You know, you want to get people. You don't have to tell them all the good details, but you want to.
Oh, come on, James! A book, if it's a couple hundred pages long, they're not going to be able to tell it. They can skim through it and tell us little things that make you want. They don't even know their own frickin' book. That's the other problem. But they should be able to tell you certain things and each key points in the book to make you interested and want to go out and buy it.
Well, that's what I was trying to say. Just like when they write the book, when you write it, you make things where people were, oh, I can't wait to turn the next page, see what happened. Well, you can tell about your book along the same process without giving it away, make people want to go get it and read it and see what's going on. But if you don't say anything, then odds are people are, why would they want to go? Why would they want to buy it or read it?
Yeah, and spend $20 for a book, and you haven't been able to even explain anything about it. That's just like if I one night I come on the air, right, and I just turn the microphone off for 4 hours and then turn it back on. Well, what did you think about the show tonight? Hey, there's nothing there. Well, if you want to be a guest, not on my show or any podcast, any radio show, TV show, what have you. If you wrote a book, read it over and write down, key elements. Don't ever ask the host and send a host of questions that ask you about your book. If that happens to me, guess what? You'll never hear a reply. Anyway, a Florida man tells the police officer, "Officer, that's not my cocaine. Somehow the wind blew it into my car window."
Oh, boy, the old wind again. I wonder how many times through history the wind has gotten blamed for being nefarious like that. That poor guy.
Well, blame it on earth changes, okay? It took that bag from a mile away, caught it in the ionic sphere, came back down, and kind of just blew some cocaine into his window while he's being searched by a police officer. Yeah, I buy that one. Well, a Minnesota pilot didn't see the high power cables and lines, and he kind of tangled his little plane into the power lines, and he's hanging for hours while they try to figure out, well, how do you rescue him out of the plane?
Yeah, without electrocuting himself. That's the thing. That guy's lucky he didn't get electrocuted. Word of the wise, you're flying with a small little plane. You definitely want to stay above these high-powered lines or any electrical lines as far as that goes, because they just cause havoc and they will wreck your day. But, yeah, they need to get up there with one of them fire trucks with the long extending ladders, I would think. That'd be about the way I would go about, or electric truck. Same thing.
Yeah, and then they got to shut the grid down in that area, for a while to get, because they got to remove the plane. The plane's hanging there by its wheels upside down. But, again, Alaska man, this time it's not Florida, Alaska man was arrested. He had $400,000 worth of drugs with him. Now, the bad part is it was stuffed into a rotted goat intestines.
I wonder if the wind blew that in there.
and again, the 71-year-old Alaska man, when he was arrested, tells the police, well, I didn't know I had drugs in the guts of the intestine of the goat. I just never knew it was there.
Was the goat alive?
No, this is the intestines only.
Oh, okay.
Rotting intestines, okay?
Oh, my God. Oh, Lord. Well, what are these people not thinking? Gee, many Christmas. You talk about that guy, they're going to put it to him, unfortunately, and he's 71 years old. My goodness. I don't know where to go with that. Oh, you might as well say what the guy in Florida did. You know, the wind blew it in there. I didn't know. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Well, a baby bear cub is stranded over a tree over a tiger enclosure in Florida and has to be rescued.
Over a tiger enclosure? Boy, them tigers must have been
well, the bear got on a tree branch, went out and do what bears, I guess, do, cubs do, and then realized there was like a tigers in there, and they were really hungry, I guess.
That's right. I bet they were salivating to wait for that poor cub to fall. Oh, my goodness. That must have been a heck of a rescue right there. Who'd want to, boy, that, now I'll tell you, who'd want to rescue that? I guess you'd have to corral the tigers away from the bear cub. Wow.
Or something. Please give a ticket to a driver who has a curtain hanging over his front windshield. And he's driving, and he can't see out the window, and he's sticking his head out of the side window. And he got arrested. He got a ticket and got arrested.
I wonder why. My goodness. He must have had some ploy for that. That reminds me of the guy I seen going down the road. His windshield wipers were broken. He had strings hooked to him, and he had the passengers working the strings to use the wipers. Sometimes you just got to... Don't drive. If you gotta go through all that, don't drive. You are going to get pulled over. I've got pulled over for having too much stuff on my dash, not to mention the whole windshield cover. Jesus.
Could you imagine? Why would you have a curtain over your windshield and be driving around with it? That makes no freaking sense. Well, they rescued a horse from a barn. Unfortunately, when the firefighters removed the horse or tried to remove it, they were stumped on how to do it. Somehow, this horse made its way up all the way to the hayloft.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing feat right there. I've been in many a barns. A horse made it to the hayloft. Wow, I'd like to see that. That's something right there alone.
Well, how would it climb up there? That's number one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How would a horse get? Some horses are big. This must have been an average-sized horse, but even still. And haylofts aren't safe. I've fallen through many a hayloft, and horses weigh way more than I do. So that is amazing.
In Crater Lake, Oregon, please don't hand feed the bears. An elderly man found out what happened when he was feeding peanuts to a bear.
Oh, boy. Would he lose a hand or his whole body?
He lost several fingers.
Yeah. That Crater Lake has got a long history of UFOs, Bigfoots, cryptids, spirits, you name it. People vanish there. There's a long history of some weird stuff going on at Crater Lake, Oregon.
Oh, yeah. But it's a beautiful, scenic place. I mean, when I was a kid, we used to go camping there quite a bit. We go up around that area to go camping. Beautiful, beautiful area. But, right, it's funny. The last time I was up by Crater Lake, I was going the back way from my compound to Reno. And, I mean, we really went the extra couple 100 miles to do it. But we wanted to see things. And we were riding our Harleys late at night, like 2 o'clock in the morning. And we saw, it looked like a burning, whatever coming down, like an asteroid, but it was big. And we heard even with the noise of Harley motors, which are really loud on a motorcycle, we heard the explosion and found out it was one of the space, the Russian, whatever it was, one of their space capsule things came back down and, broke up. But it was scary. I mean,
that would be scary.
It lit up the sky like it was daylight for, a little while. And then you could hear the when it hit the ground. And I guess from what I heard the next day, it even started a forest fire, a little one. They managed to, control it.
Yeah, lucky it didn't hit in the middle of a busy highway. My goodness, I reported on one of the news reports yesterday of Polk County, Oregon. They even had a video of it, big flame. Looked like a big asteroid or something coming down. It hit. They thought it was a plane crash, but they didn't find anything, which was weird.
Yeah. Well, you know what? A lot of times the stuff, when it does come down, it takes a while to find it. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, that's right. Depending on where it lands, maybe it landed in a lake or something too. Who knows? But yeah, it's a wonder that what you saw didn't. It's just luck of the odds, where it's going to land. Imagine that hitting somebody on the highway. Wow.
Well, it's but the bad part is the highway we were on was an old 2-lane highway up by Crater Lake, going through by Crater Lake. And I tell you, late at night, you didn't see any traffic for like maybe 10, 20 minutes. You'd see a car coming the other direction. Here we're out on our motorcycles, freezing our butts off. And then all of a sudden you see something like that coming down. The first thing you figure, oh man, it's an asteroid. It's going to take us out, because it was bright. And when it hit, we had our motorcycles running. We had our helmets on, and you could still hear the explosion when it hit.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, boy, oh boy. Yeah, if that would have hit the highway and somebody would hit with their car, I would have loved to heard that conversation with the insurance company. Yeah, we hit a piece of the Russian space junk.
This was, but I remember researching the news afterwards. It left a big hole. So if it would have came down and hit you in the car, you wouldn't have to worry about suing anybody. You wouldn't be around. As simple as that.
No.
Can you imagine? Asteroids, little pieces of it, sizes like less than the size of a penny, have been noted to come through people's roofs while they're watching TV. They're going through their roof, the attic, and then poof, into their house. A little piece of a meteorite.
Yeah, matter of fact, there was one years ago. A woman heard a big bang outside and went through her car hood. It was, I don't know, maybe the size of a softball. Now, who knows how big it was when it entered the atmosphere, but at the end, it was about the size of a softball, and it went through her hood, and it totaled her car, sitting in her driveway, the poor lady.
Well, she's lucky she wasn't in it, because she wouldn't be talking. Just like about a month ago, there was an airliner. It lost its wheel. And one of their wheels, okay? And it came crashing through somebody's living room while him and his wife were watching TV. Could you imagine, and you can figure it out, the force, even from a couple thousand feet, dropping down, the speed of it and all that stuff. Hey, just think of a meteorite at the speed that they travel. Even slowing down coming into Earth's gravity, it's enough where it's going to, cause a lot of damage.
Well, yeah, just any object that falls from is like 120 miles per second. But like you said, those are coming in at anywhere from 10, 20 to 100,000 miles an hour. Who knows, and yeah, and they're hot. They're coming in hot, literally coming in hot. So yeah, they cause a lot of damage. That's for sure. People don't realize, and there's millions of pieces of space junk floating around out there, and who knows? They're like ticking time bombs. Really, they could drop at any time once they get low enough.
Yeah, stupidity of humans. That what do you call it? One of the Russian very first capsules they sent up with that poor dog.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, that dog's still, mummified, most likely, just circling the Earth.
I know, that's brutal.
Yeah.
That is brutal.
Anyway, we're going to be back in about 3 minutes. You're listening to Night Dreams Talk Radio After Dark. Check out our website at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. Everybody, hang on.